What's up, Mavletic lovers and listeners, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Maverick Postgame. We hope some of you got to see some of our athletics this past week. If not, don't worry, because today we've got another full show for you as women's basketball battles it out in the Final Four.
And men's basketball faces off in Texas in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Also, men's lacrosse extends their win streak.
And women's lacrosse finds their momentum in the RMAC.
All of that and so much more as we move ahead into this recap-packed episode of Maverick Postgame. So with that being said, I'm your host, Kylie Hoffman.
And I'm Jillian Bray.
Let's dive into all the game-breaking stats, off-the-wall wins, heartbreaking losses, and in-depth analysis of our CMU athletics. Roll it! Sorry, I should go here.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, I am Jillian Bray.
And I am Kylie Hoffman. Let's jump right in and take a look at all the Mavtastic action that took place over the past week here at CMU. The historic 25-26 season for the Colorado Mesa women's basketball team has come to an end in the Final Four of the NCAA Division II championships, as well as Maverick legend Olivia Reed-Tynes' historic collegiate basketball career. After surviving unlikely odds and paving the way for CMU athletics, the number 3 ranked Mesa Mavericks fell to the number 4 ranked Indiana Pennsylvania Crimson Hawks in a tight 75-70 game. Facing the number 1 ranked Texas women's team in the South Central Regional Championship, the number 3 Mavericks pulled off the upset with 3 seconds remaining on the clock. The two teams were close all game, trading leads until the end of the third quarter when Olivia Reed-Tynes helped her team go on a 7-0 run to put them 12 points ahead of the slated winners. Mesa never let go of this lead, even in the last 3 seconds when Texas women's held possession with a 65-64 score. The final block from Reed-Tynes, rebounded by Brooke Ayer, punched the Elite 8 ticket for the Mavericks for the first time since 2013. Traveling to Pittsburgh for the Elite 8, the number 3 Mavs were set to face off against the number 6 Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. After a high-scoring first 10 minutes, the Bulldogs managed to keep up with the Mavericks as they were only led by 3 points, 22-19. But after a 12-0 run in the second quarter set the Bulldogs behind by 22 points. It was a wide-open lane for the Mavs to advance to the Final Four for the first time in CMU history. Then, finally, the epic season for the women's team came to an end in Pittsburgh in the NCAA Division II semifinals against the Indiana Pennsylvania Crimson Hawks. The Hawks jumped to an early lead, going 12-0 in the first 3 minutes of the game. But the Mavericks not only met, but surpassed the Hawks by going 21-19 at the end of the first quarter. However, 3 minutes into the second, Indiana managed to tie and lead the Mavericks up until the final buzzer, sending the Mavericks home early in the heartbreaking loss. Indiana then advanced to the championship game against returning champs Grand Valley State. The Lakers quickly shut out the Hawks with a final score of 72-49, securing their second straight national championship title. The final game for the Mavericks marked the end of their 34-game win streak and 37-2 season. 37 wins in a single season is not only the most in program history, but in RMAC history as well. 37 wins is also tied for third most in NCAA Division II basketball history. As a team, the Mavericks managed to lead the Crimson Hawks in rebounds with the help of Olivia Reed-Tynes' 7th straight double-double. They also were able to lead in free throws percentage with the help of Mason Rollins' 88% at the line. But ultimately, it was the higher turnovers and smaller field goal percentage that led to the Mavericks' early return. Despite the final loss, this season was the farthest the Mavericks have gone in the NCAA tournament and the best record to ever cross Mesa and RMAC basketball courts. Congratulations to every single player and coach on the CMU women's basketball team. You make us proud to be Mavericks.
Also representing Mesa at the national level was the men's basketball team in Dallas, Texas, as they were awarded the number 8 seed in the NCAA South Central Region Tournament. Taking the first seed and the opponent's spot against Mesa was the 15th ranked Dallas Baptist Patriots. This first round game would serve as a rematch for the Patriots as Mesa served them in their first loss in the first game of the season and in the close 78-77 match. Now with an entire season under both teams' belts, it was the last man standing. Unfortunately for the Mavericks, the Patriots held a better record than the home team, taking total 6 losses on the season versus the Mavs 10. After 5 minutes of play, the Patriots quickly entered the rhythm the Maverick defense could not bypass. By the end of this first half, Dallas Baptist was ahead of the Mavericks by 27, 53-26. The Mavs did not give up even here, however, as the team went on to score 40 points in the second. It would unfortunately not be enough to pull the upset as the Patriot offense still brought down the onslaught, winning the battle 99-66, sending the Mavericks back to the Valley. Despite the early ticket home, this was the 6th time in 7 years the team participated in the NCAA tournament and the 12th time in program history. This was also the final game for Maverick favorites, senior Ty Alred and coach Mike Dunlap. Shortly after the boys returned home, it was announced Coach Dunlap would be stepping down due to health concerns. Alred ended his collegiate career with 1,136 points and Dunlap with 40 wins for both the Mavericks. Both were integral members of this team and will be missed in the program. As a team, the men's and women's teams had similar statistics. The Mavs led in rebounds and free throw percentage, but got outshot and the three caused double the turnovers. With many players in the youth of their collegiate careers, the men's team will only build on this loss and come back better than ever. Congratulations on your successful season, Mavs.
Ranked 15th in the nation, the Maverick men's lacrosse team extended their win streak by 2 this past weekend as they made the road trip to Utah and Idaho. Setting up in Salt Lake City for their 4th RMAC game, the Mavs and the Westminster Griffins traded leads most of the Thursday game, with the 4th quarter seeing the most action, counting 10 goals alone. After seeing scores from 9 different Maverick players and a first-season hat trick from senior Nick Moore, the Griffins managed to send the game into overtime with 3 goals and 90 seconds remaining on the game clock. With the extra 4 minutes on the clock, freshman goalie Boaz Brown was determined to keep his team in the game as he ticked up 16 saves in the match. Finally, senior Dylan Pless sent the Griffins to the locker room with his game-winning goal 31 seconds left in overtime, ending the game 13-12. Then, on Saturday, the team headed north to Idaho, where they faced new RMAC rivals, the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. The Mavs, continuing their undefeated streak in the RMAC, easily dominated the 1-4 team, with 3 different players recording hat tricks in the 17-6 game. Connor Jensen, Carson Points, and Dylan Pless all recorded 3 goals or more, with Jensen matching his career high with 4. The Tennessee native also managed to record 6 offensive points in the landslide win. This game also saw the return of Peach Belt MVP goalie Shaden Shields after he missed 4 games due to injury. He put up 11 saves against the Nighthawks. The Mavericks will now return home for a 3-game homestand, where they will start with Senior Day this Saturday at 1 p.m.
Also on the road this week was the Maverick women's lacrosse team as they headed south to Pueblo and Durango for 2 RMAC matchups. Going into the weekend, the Mavericks had a slow start in the RMAC play, losing both their previous matchups to RMAC opponents UCCS and Westminster. Now facing the CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves, the girls had lost time to make up for. The Thunderwolves, also trailing on the conference 1-2, have historically never won a single game over the Mavericks, and that would not change this Friday afternoon game. With powerful efforts from Sophia Chalk and with back-to-back goals and Carson Dickey, the Mavs were able to come back from a 0-2 deficit with a 5-0 run in just under 3 minutes. Then helping seal the Thunderwolves' fate was senior Devin Morris when she recorded her first career hat trick with just 3 seconds remaining in the game. The Mavs picked up the 11-8 win and traveled back to the Western Slope with a winning mindset to take on the 0-6 Fort Lewis Skyhawks. Taking early control of the game, the Mavericks showed off their diverse bench when 4 different Mavericks scored 2 goals or more. Ella Freeman, Avery Arlbeck, and Zia Smith all tacked on 2 goals apiece, while Devin Morris scored yet another hat trick. But she wasn't done yet as she flew 1 more over the Skyhawks, breaking her previous game record, settling goals with 4 in 1 game. It was an onslaught from the Mavericks as they headed home with their 2nd RMAC win and the weekend sweep 15-2. Hoping to continue the win, the girls will host nationally ranked Regis University today at Community Hospital Unity Field. Good luck to our Mavs.
Now that we have recapped some of the games, it's time to send it over to Dean Allen with a brand new episode of Overtime. Take it away, Dean.
That's right. It's overtime today, joined by Maverick softball head coach Mercedes Bodie. Coach Bodie, thanks for the time. We'll start off with that Saturday slate of games, but the strikeout cancer game, your daughter Ivy throwing out the first pitch. What did that mean to you as a mom to just, see your team rally around your daughter who then got to throw out a first pitch?
First of all, thanks for having me. It's always good to see you, Dean, outside of the press box, as you're always calling our games. But yeah, our strikeout cancer game, we were in pink jerseys. It's one of Ivy's favorite colors, so it was perfect for her. We actually had a little logo on our jersey for her that said her name with a little heart around it. But yeah, it really was to celebrate her. It's been a year and almost to the day of when she was diagnosed with cancer. Doctors found a tumor. We went through a whirlwind week of figuring out what everything would look like treatment-wise. Thankfully, she had so few side effects. Little bald head for about a year. But after a bunch of chemo, radiation, which she actually thought was great, which was funny because we hung out for a month in the summer, me and her, over in Denver. 2 surgeries, she doesn't have cancer anymore. So everything worked. That was kind of the best case scenario of that. When it came to figuring out which day we would do it, the Adams series, since it was a year and a day after we initially found everything out, it was perfect. It was a beautiful day, a ton of people at the game. Thankfully, she wasn't too scared to throw out the first pitch.
That's awesome. And now for your team, between the lines there of series sweep, your first series sweep of the season, and it seemed like your offense was just popping top to bottom through the entire lineup both days. How are they able to just be so powerful at the dish?
We always do a little better at home. Home field advantage is definitely a thing. We know what our fences are like, how the ball flies. And going against a team like Adams, we really wanted, our goal was to sweep. Win all 4 games. We've won a lot of series so far, but kind of that 4th game was eluding us. And we know with a little bit lighter of a pitching staff, not as much depth, we need to score a lot of runs. And it really helps pitching, it helps our defense, all those different things. But we had a lot of people hitting home runs, doubles, just getting through singles. Sometimes walks really helped us. So we should be putting up those power numbers kind of halfway through the season, and hopefully it just continues from there.
Well, then Sophia Tassinari, your guys' ace, had 2 wins and a save over the weekend. How was she able to start that Game 3 of the series, Game 1 on Sunday, and then go in that Game 4 and close it out?
Well, she's been pitching in a lot of our games. We've asked her to step up a lot since we had really 2 of our pitchers be out with injuries. So we've given her the ball a lot. She's pitched in most games. And sometimes that role is just a couple innings. Hey, switch it up to somebody else. We may need you a little bit later. But she did pretty well, and we were ahead in that Game 3, so it was a great time to switch it. She was a little bit off. They started to get some hits off of her, so hey, let's change it. And then she really came in, closed out Game 4, when we really pitched by committee, all 3 of our pitchers through that game. She came in really strong to close it out for us.
Gotcha. Well, Coach Bodie, thank you so much for the time. We definitely appreciate it. That's going to be it. I'm Dean Allen. That's my time for Overtime.
Thank you, Dean. The Maverick softball team has been putting in the work on and off the diamond this year. With a 16-7 RMAC record, the girls continue pushing their limits and showing up for their team. Tune in next week where Dean will interview Coach Chris Hanks instead of the undefeated Mesa baseball team.
Now that we have recapped some of the action, it's time to announce our Maverick of the Week. Our Maverick of the Week goes to Olivia Reed-Tyne of the women's basketball team. With the 2025-2026 women's basketball season closing in Pittsburgh last week, so did senior Olivia Reed-Tyne's. If you've tuned into Maverick Postgame this season, you've been following the amazing year the 6-foot guard has been etching into the CMU history books. If not, let me catch you up. Reed-Tyne finishes her collegiate career with a total of 2,490 points. She broke the RMAC record of 2002 earlier this year and managed to raise it by nearly 500. The Windsor, Colorado native also finished her career with 1,431 rebounds after she recorded 67 double-doubles in her career. Her rebound total is not only the highest in Mesa history, RMAC history, but also all Colorado collegiate sports, even D1 history. Olivia's impact on CMU, the RMAC, and women's sports in Colorado will be felt for years to come, and Reed-Tyne will forever go down in CMU history. Congratulations, Olivia, for your outstanding career. You are Maverick of the Week. Now it is time for some closing thoughts. My closing thoughts are on the All-American accolades our Maverick athletes keep on earning this season. Earlier this year, our women's wrestlers brought home 4 All-Americans in Loriana Piestawa, Jaylene Sakona, Adriana Gomez, and Mia Zuniga. Now, in women's basketball, Olivia Reed-Tyne has earned All-American honors in not only the D2 CCA, but the WBCA as well. CMU is proud to host all of these generational athletes.
My closing thoughts are on the Mesa baseball team. The Mavericks currently sit at 3rd in the national for D2 baseball and are proving once again this season that they are the #1 team in the state. This weekend, the home team pulled off another RMAC sweep over the Colorado School of Mines. This now keeps them completely undefeated in the RMAC and at home. The Mavs will finally take the road after their 16-game home stretch to Alamosa to face the Adams State Grizzlies, who are on 10-24 on the season. Good luck, Mavs.
Now that we have wrapped up all the action from the past week and given our closing thoughts, it is time to close the show. Thank you everyone for joining us this week on Maverick Postgame. I've been your host, Kylie Hoffman.
And I've been Jillian Bray.
Be sure to check out our YouTube Colorado Mesa TV for more games and updates. We'll see you next time for an all-new recap-packed episode of Maverick Postgame. Stay safe, Mavs. Study hard. Go to a game or two. And of course, have yourselves a Mesa amazing day.